When The Legend of Korra first aired on TV, it was not only the first occasion of meeting brand new characters, but also to learn what happened to the first Team Avatar. While some of them, like Aang and Sokka, had died prior to Korra's first episode, we nevertheless got the chance to see them through flashbacks or in spirit form. In today's Avatar video, I'll discuss characters that returned during Korra's timeline, from Iroh calmly sipping tea in the spirit world, to Zuko still alive and well, now with an amazing dragon called Druk. Originally from the Southern Water Tribe like Avatar's Korra, it wasn't surprising that the character would be a big part in Korra's life. That, plus the fact that she was Aang's lifelong partner and mother to his children Tenzin, Kaya, and Bumi. Having stopped the insane Azula as she trapped her in ice during the 100-Year War, and having saved Aang's life using spirit water, Korra stands as one of the most known waterbenders in the entire world. The woman is literally a legend. So having her in The Legend of Korra as the new Avatar's mentor and somewhat a mother figure to her made for bittersweet moments, since Korra is basically Aang's reincarnation. When Korra was discovered by the White Lotus, Katara returned to her role as the Avatar's waterbending teacher, helping in keeping the Avatar cycle. Besides being instrumental in saving the world from Fire Lord Ozai, Katara succeeded in making bloodbending illegal throughout the United Republic of Nations. While Katara's life will probably end a few years after the events of Korra, the comic books still come up with new adventures heavily focusing on her character, like the North and South Trilogy or Katara and the Pirate Silver. As told in the comic books, our dear Uncle Iroh became interim Fire Lord for a bit after the 100-Year War. There was no issue with his nephew's reign. I mean, some people were trying to assassinate him, but that's another story. But Zuko had to leave while searching for his mother Ursa during the Search Trilogy. This is when Iroh used his newfound power as interim Fire Lord to put into place one of his proudest creations, National Tea Appreciation Day. While he remained the Grand Lotus of the Order of the White Lotus, Iroh spent most of his time taking care of a tea shop he opened, a dream he always had. When we first see Iroh return to Korra, it's only in spirit form when Korra visits the spirit world. It seems that at some point in his life, he told himself he's done enough for Earth and just decided to ascend to the spirit world. Interestingly enough, you would think that he would try new things among his new spirit friends, but can you guess what the first thing he did when he arrived into that realm was? Yep, he opened a new tea shop right away. While Toph's daughters Lin and Suyin had major key roles in The Legend of Korra, the grumpy earthbender Toph only appears in her old age during the events of Book 4, Balance. Before Korra found her alone in the foggy swamp, Toph was only shown through flashbacks, explaining how she became the chief of police in Republic City, the events of the bloodbender Yakon's trial, and finally, how she left the Force a year later after her daughter Suyin got entangled in criminal affairs and she destroyed her daughter's police report. Toph was instrumental in getting Korra back to her feet after the trauma she suffered at the hands of the Red Lotus, and most importantly, the evil airbender Zahir. The inventor of metal bending was quick to notice how Korra still had some residues of mercury poisoning inside of her bloodstream, but wasn't able to extract it. Thanks to Toph's guidance and the Banyan Grove tree's spiritual influence, Korra finally succeeded in getting rid of the metal weakening her. Toph had her fair share of action following the fall of Zhao Fu, but she also had a political stint in the comic books following the series, as she ran to become governor of the state of Gaoling. While she eventually returned to the Foggy Swamp, you can go back in time and explore what she was up to after Avatar in the recent comic book Toph Beifong's Metal Bending Academy. When The Legend of Korra was first announced, it was kind of obvious that the Avatar's main character Aang would not be alive during Korra's timeline. But fortunately for us eternal Avatar fans, he was shown through flashbacks and spirit form a few times. The flashbacks explained his role as one of the founders of the United Republic of Nations, while his appearance in spirit form helped two of the main characters of the show. When it comes to Korra, she summoned him accidentally, and after a heartfelt talk, he restored the bending she lost to Amon, while passing on the knowledge behind energy bending, just like the last lion turtle did many decades ago. Aang also appeared in the Fog of Lost Souls to save Tenzin, who, being crippled with doubt, was about to totally lose his mind. The Avatar told his son how he should not strive to become like his father, but to be true to himself and step out of his father's shadow. Even in death, Aang was there to guide the new Avatar, and by helping Tenzin get out of the Fog of Lost Souls, was a key player in the rebuilding of the Air Nomads. While his daughter Izumi eventually took the Fire Nation throne, Fire Lord Zuko was still quite involved in politics late into his old age. Riding the skies with his gigantic dragon Druk, who is rumored to have come from the Sun Warrior's golden egg, just like Toph did, Zuko helped in the fight against Korra's enemies. Zuko first appears in The Legend of Korra when we hear that the criminals Zahir, Ghazan, and Minghua have escaped their prison cells. On Druk's back, he traveled to the Combustion Bender Plea's prison located in the South Pole's western tundra. While he failed in keeping Plea behind bars and somewhat helped with the ensuing chaos engendered by the Red Lotus, Zuko, just like Katara, acted at one point as Korra's advisor. He eventually went back to the Fire Nation in order to protect Izumi, who was in danger of being targeted by Zahir due to her position as a leader, and from a sense of revenge caused by the fact that Zuko was one of the people who put him in prison in the first place. Unfortunately, our favorite boomerang master and swordbender Sokka passed away before the events taking place in The Legend of Korra. But thanks to good old-fashioned flashbacks, we got to see him hard at work in Republic City. As part of the group who founded the United Republic of Nations, Sokka was the Southern Water Tribe's representative. As the official United Republic Council's chairman, he was the one sentencing Yakone for his bloodbending crimes during the trial scene where the villain bloodbent everyone before Aang chased him and took away his bending for good using energy bending. Along with Zuko and others, he was also part of a team who saved a young Korra from the Red Lotus and sent them to customized jails around the world. We only see him during a few moments throughout Korra's Book 1, which is a shame, so hopefully we'll get to know a little more about Sokka's life with the upcoming Avatar Studios series. Until then, let's hope for more Avatar comics coming our way. Now, Shi Tong is one heck of a drama queen. After that fiasco in the Siwang Desert's library, Shi Tong's hate for humans only grew stronger once he took his business down to the spirit world. He appears in Korra's Book 2 when the young air nomad Jinora was seeking information about the location of the spirit portals. When Jinora, being quite impressed by the giant owl's collection, mentioned she could stay there forever, Shi Tong immediately pointed to the poor Professor Zay's skeleton who lost his life back in the Avatar days. When Jinora insisted in staying to learn more about the harmonic convergence, the knowledge spirit came back with Unalaq, stating that unlike Avatar Aang, the future Dark Avatar was a true friend to the spirits. It feels like the Avatar cycle not only follows the four elements, but also similar events in each Avatar's life. Kuruk's life was cut short due to his exposure to dark spirits because Yang Chen sided with the humans, leaving the spirit world unattended during her time as the Avatar. The Water Avatar's life has some similarities to Korra's, while the Air Avatar's lack of responsibilities towards the spirits mirrors Aang's time as the Avatar. I wonder what that means for the future Earth Avatar. Hey, speaking of Earth Avatars, the brutal and long-lived Avatar Kyoshi was also somewhat featured in The Legend of Korra. While she appears only briefly before disintegrating on screen with eyes glowing white, Kyoshi could have been an interesting mentor to Korra. They have tons in common and have both been through a lot of hardship. Now that we know more about Kyoshi thanks to the duology novels The Rise of Kyoshi and The Shadow of Kyoshi, there is so much Avatar Korra could have learned from the daughter of an air nomad and an Earth Kingdom citizen. Granted, Korra is feisty and can get quite violent at times, but wouldn't it have been interesting to see Korra go full Kyoshi on the Red Lotus or Kuvira? That tyrant metalbender really deserved the Kyoshi treatment in my opinion. General Zhao must be one of the most hated characters in the whole franchise. During the events of Avatar: The Last Airbender, not only did he act as a rival to Zuko in his quest to capture the Avatar, but he was also responsible for one of the most heinous crimes committed during the series. During the siege of the Northern Water Tribe's city, he succeeded in getting to the Spirit Oasis and killed the moon spirit Tui. This led to the moon turning red, rendering all waterbenders useless, and caused the ocean spirit La to merge with Aang in the Avatar state and become a gigantic water monster. But the worst part in all of this is that he caused Sokka's lover Yue to sacrifice herself and become the moon to bring balance back to the world. He was last seen in Korra, trapped in the fog of lost souls, losing his marbles as he seems to still be trying to capture Avatar Aang. It looks like Zhao will spend the afterlife in eternal torment. Good for him. No! My cabbages! With the Cabbage merchant's ongoing gang throughout Avatar: The Last Airbender, The Legend of Korra had to at least give a nod to the poor man. During the Equalist's witch hunt, we see a giant statue of him proudly holding a cabbage to the sky, accompanied by his endlessly destroyed cabbage cart. Getting out of the Cabbage Corp, we see an Earth Kingdom-born man who's probably the merchant's grandson being arrested by Lin as she answers questions from a bunch of news-hungry journalists. As she announces that they're freezing his assets and closing his company, the man tears up and screams, "No, not my Cabbage Corp!" just like his grandfather did back in the day. Something tells me there's some kind of curse running through the family. Or maybe it's the cabbage. Hey, fun fact! Did you know that Uncle Iroh actually invented bubble tea in the Avatar universe? In The Promise, he serves Zuko and Aang a brand new drink he invented made out of milk, tea, and tapioca balls.